Good evening, friends. Before I get started tonight, finish this last one up, I was on here a little bit longer than I really needed to be tonight, but I met two really good young men, man. So I'd like to give a special shout out to Gang tonight. Great talking to you guys, man. I look forward to working with you in the near future. But tonight I wanted to finish up tonight and talk about the W-8 BEN, okay? It's, this is the form, W-8 BEN, okay? You can Google it. If you Google W-8 BEN, it's going to come right up. Where I got this one was from 2017. I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed any. I don't think it's changed in decades. But this form right here, when you download the PDF, it's going to be one page of the form, and then it's going to be 6 pages of instructions. Get those and read them. It's a fascinating read, just like the 1099A and 1099C. But this one here, the title of this is Certificate of Foreign Status of Beneficial Owner for United States Tax Withholding and Reporting Individuals. Okay? This is the W-8 BEN. There's another one that's the W-8 BEN-E, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. But when you get down here at the very top, underneath the heading, it says, do not use this form if you are not an individual. And then it goes on to say, instead use form W-8 BEN-E. BEN-E is for the employer, okay? And I'll explain that here in a minute. It says, do not use this form if you are a U.S. citizen, lowercase citizen, okay? We talked about this in a previous video. Or other U.S. person. I wonder what the difference is there. Including a resident alien individual. For that one, you'd use the W-9. And then it says, it gives a couple more examples of who's not supposed to use it. Do not use this form if you are a person acting as an intermediary. W-8 IMY. This will give you the examples of what you're not supposed to, okay? And then it goes on to part 1. Okay, part 1. And this is where you're going to put your information in. This is crazy simple. Crazy simple. It says name of individual who is the beneficial owner. That's you, man. What you're going to put in is your first name, a hyphen, your second name, a colon, your family name, a comma, and then beneficiary, or BENE period, okay? And that's number 1. And number 2, it says country of citizenship, okay? NA, okay? Put an NA in that. Because the way I like to say is, I'm a citizen of heaven. I'm the son of the Most High, a sojourn on the land. That's all I am. I'm not a citizen here. You can't serve 2 masters. My master is the Most High. I serve no one else but the master. So I put NA. Put NA in there. Country of citizenship. Or if you wanted to, you could actually put heaven in there. If you're a believer, put heaven in there. And then mark it out because I'm not a resident. Okay, and then you put the city or town, state or province, including the postal code where appropriate. Okay, and then you put the county in. Then there's a mailing address if it's different. You're familiar with a lot of these forms. Number 5, it says U.S. taxpayer identification number, Social Security or ITIN, if required, right? This is if required. So you don't have to put it in there. You don't have to put it in there at all. But you can if you want. U.S. taxpayer identification number. Your trust is the taxpayer, okay? Every taxpayer is assessed a K trust, okay? So if you want to put it in there, you can. 6 is foreign tax identification number. You don't have one, so leave it blank. Date of birth. And then you go to part 2, right? Part 2, right here. Okay. Trying to hold it still enough that you can get a good look at it or screenshot it or whatever. But you can print these off from the internet and look at them while you're going over this video. These are simple, folks. Crazy simple. Part 2 is claim of tax treaty benefit for Chapter 3 purposes only, right? It says, I certify that the beneficial owner is a resident of. You can leave that blank because it doesn't apply to you. You can leave that blank. 10 is special rate, so you can leave that blank, right? And then I go down here to the bottom, well, in the bottom of part 2. You can leave it blank or you can NA it, right, those lines. It says right here at the very bottom, right here, right below 10. It gives you a nice couple lines there to write some stuff on. This is what you're going to write, okay? It says right here, it says, explain the additional conditions in the article and paragraph that the beneficial owner meets the eligibility for the rate of withholding. Okay? This is what you're going to put in there, okay? Exactly what I'm about to say. I am not a U.S. citizen. Make sure that the citizen is spelled just like it is here. Where it says, are you a U.S. citizen? Okay, with a lowercase c. Okay, you're not a United States citizen. Your trust is a citizen. You can't be the trust. I can't stress that enough. You're not the trust. Okay, and it even goes down here. If you read part 3, certification. Under penalty of perjury, I declare that I have examined the information on this form and to the best of my knowledge and belief it is true, to the best of my knowledge and belief it is true, correct and complete. I further certify under penalty of perjury that, and it gives these points, right? It says, well, you can read these for yourself, but one of them here says the person named on line 1 in this form is not a U.S. person, right? Why do they do that? Because a U.S. person is a trust or a corporation. Person. I went over this when I talked about the 14th Amendment, right? And then sign it down here at the bottom. Sign and date at the bottom. Sign and date at the bottom, right? With the beneficiary signature. I went over that in a previous video too. The first name, a hyphen, the second name, a colon, the last name or family name, and then comma beneficiary, and then date it. Then it says print the name of the signer. Print it the same way. First name, print, hyphen, second name, print it, colon, last name, print it, okay? And then put beneficiary. Put your title as a beneficiary. Why? Because this is a certificate of foreign status for beneficial owner. The United States is a corporation. It's a foreign corporation. 10 square miles of Washington, D.C., and its territories. It was incorporated, I've been over this, it was incorporated in the 1860s, so that it could sue and be sued. It's a foreign corporation, which makes you a foreigner. You're a foreigner to the United States. That's why you're not a United States citizen or a United States person. I talked to my mom about this, and she's 75, and she's like, well, I'm proud that I'm a United States citizen, and you know, they're brainwashed, okay? It's not their fault. You know, my parents sold me out to the corporation, and their parents sold them out, and their parents before them sold them out, more than likely. If you're younger, it is back a couple generations. It's a sellout, and nobody ever knew about it. That's how slick they are, trying to pull this over on you. But that's the BEN. I know United Auto Workers that are retired, been retired for 10 years, and did this for, 18, 20 years. I did this for my brother and a bunch of his friends, steel workers, saving $250, $300 a week. If you are making enough money that you have to pay taxes because you filed W-2, you're going to want to do this. I tell people, that aren't making a lot of money and have kids, go ahead and do the W-2 and the 1040 and get your earned income credit. Get what you can. But like I said, my brother and his friends were bringing home $250, $300 more a week. Can you use that? The beneficiary or the exemption that you're going to be getting is taxes that they withhold, the corporation or the company you work for withholds from you. Okay? So now to briefly talk about the W-8 BEN-E. These corporations that you're working for that are withholding for you are acting as a collection agency for the IRS. They're not getting paid. I'd want to get paid if I own a corporation. I'll hold this for you, but hey, if I'm going to do your work, you're going to pay me. And what happens is if I work for a company and they withhold $300 a week from me, they also have to match $300. Okay? So when they're not withholding the $300 from me, then they're filing the W-8 BEN-E. Then they're not having to pay the $300 a month. If you're a small business owner, talk to your employees. Say, hey man, would you like to do this W-8 and you won't have to pay any more taxes out? And I won't